So in nutrition, it's hard because different types of inflammation show up on different timelines. So you can have an IgE or an IgG type inflammatory reaction, and that can happen within a day or two of your exposure, usually quite immediately, honestly. Now you can have IgG type hypersensitivity, which is delayed. And that may be even up to 4 days later. So you can imagine that if I eat certain thing, like let's say dairy, that inflammatory reaction may not show up for a few days. And so that's going to be really hard then, because I sit there and I think about, well, what did I eat 4 days ago? You know, you may know, you may not, right? So that's why understanding food sensitivities is kind of difficult. All that said, originally we stated that you can have plenty of bowel inflammation and not have symptoms. In fact, there's a statistic that's running out there on the internet that 80% of people who have celiac disease don't have symptoms. I think that's an arguable kind of statement. I mean, don't just take anything you read off the internet. But I think what they're looking at is like the symptoms of like major diarrhea or any of the irritable bowel type symptoms. That definitely gets a workup, right? But plenty of people will have positive celiac results and not have those symptoms, or have very mild symptoms. Like, who hasn't had gas and bloating at some point, right? So this is to say that I want you to trust your body, but I also want you to know that if you're eating foods that you have reacted to in the past, that they probably are a part of a problem. You want to really understand the foods that are nutrition for our body and the foods that have a history of inflammatory reactions. And that's why I do food sensitivity testing in my practice, because that helps me determine what are the sources of chronic illness.